welcome back to the channel and the campaign. And today is a big day because we have finally done in Dol Guldur. And although they have still caused some devastation here with the now rebel Mao Duff, so what are we going to have to do? Or what are we going to do with him? Well, we're obviously going to have to try and destroy him. But before we do that, we will have to gather our forces. In the last turn, I got another spy. What's his name? Phalas Nornion. Okay, well, he's going to be sent off this way to try and find the Easterlings of Rune. And they are there. And Dorwinians are already hassling them. And, and they actually also have the Old Rune Road.
My lord.
Old Rune Road. Old Rune Road. Whew. And, okay, and then here, we've got a lot of forces that all require retraining. We'll take them over to Parth Cymru. I should really maybe consider changing that. Although those two can stay there, I'm not really that bothered. And actually, well, you can stay there as well. We'll take those, and they too will get retrained. Now, what else is going on? So we've got a sizable force here. I think what's going to happen is we're going to move out these 4 units to this fort over here. So they're going to be free over there. Now, we do have an armourer building there, which will give us a blacksmithing bonus. It will give us elven plate. Yep, so... But I think we're just going to retrain and move out as soon as possible. With Legolas heading that army, and he's going to be going to Moria. In fact, that's where the One Ring is, apparently. But then also here, a bit further to the east, we have Sith Pantheon, and he's been tracking down this unit of sellswords. And along with these javelin men here, we're going to take out this force once and for all. Now, we can't auto-resolve because there's only one way to make sure that we put an end to this evil. They are just over there. We're just going to shoot them. And we're going to move these woodland wardens over here, then shoot them in the back. And we'll engage them when they start moving this way. And these guys are probably just going to die. The main thing being that our general gets as many shots as possible. So we moved our javelins off to the side so our general can then have a nice clean shot into the flank. The AI here is having an absolute nightmare. They don't know whether they're coming or going. But we're just going to keep on shooting. There's currently 101 of them. They're getting down quickly because we're just on 6 times speed.
For the moment, the fortune of battle goes our way. Let's pray it remains as such.
And at this point, the battle is pretty much won. We're going to just flank the buggers. And let's get a nice close-up charge as our general comes in. I wonder how many will die in the charge. 43 currently. Oh, quite a few. Quite a few died. We don't know how many actually died over here, but anyway, let's speed this up and let's get it done with.
Behold how our cowardly foe runs.
And there we have it. Apparently that was a heroic victory. But that is actually a really cool loading screen. That is Beorn, the skin changer who lives in the Vale of Anduin, and actually is a general in this mod, and he is there with, that is Thorin Oakenshield. I don't know if that is his oaken shield, but he, of course, was mortally wounded in the Battle of 5 Armies, and Beorn very much saved the day. He came in and slew Bolg, the leader of the Orcs, who was the spawn of Azog, who actually was previously killed in the Battle of Nandu Hirion. At the culmination of the war of the Orcs and the Dwarves, and I think that was the year 2799, and Dane slew him. But Sith Pantheon now has dealt with them, and these 33,
follow me.
well, we'll just send them to Erunamdirion, and in the next turn, And Sith Pantheon, I think we'll get him to build some towers around here so we get better sight range, so it's not just so dark over here. And speaking of sight range, we'll have Thranduil also building a few watchtowers. Now, where should we build them? Let's put one there.
Like the wind.
And maybe he's going to do a bit of a loop for Runen. We'll build one here and then maybe one over here so we see the road nicely, and then also build some along this border here so we got nice sight range over these towns over here, and then also Bayon's Woods. We can get one right there so we can see what is happening over here. But then, we've got a lot of money. What are we going to build? Here in Bur Southeast, let's just get a builder's hall to reduce building costs, and then we can start getting some of these land clearances and things like that. Dor Naurhak may as well. Do we want to actually get anything there? Well, let's just get... How is the elven culture here? Not amazing. I'd prefer to get something here. Well, let's have a look here. Let's get an armory. I'm thinking an armory because once Legolas leaves, he's already got 40% in governor influence for public order. And also the armory building, if we just look here at the income, currently corruption is at 525. If we build that, corruption goes down to 388. And yes, this does cost us actually 100 gold coins per turn, but that just right now is already saving us more than that. And then it will also give public order bonus due to law. And that actually also, I haven't built one of these, I don't think, quite yet, but this does provide a garrison when assaulted. And in this way you can get a garrison just like you can in later Total War games, without having any troops present. Although you do actually still need at least one unit in there, otherwise they just walk in as if there is no one there, because they don't have to even besiege it, they just, as they do. But then, let's just retrain some of these forces, because we want to go to Moria as soon as possible, because we want to make sure that we are the ones to get it. And then, in the north, let's just get a unit of Woodland Warriors, because I'd quite like to man that fort up there, so then we've got some security against Gundabad again, because it does look like they're posturing. We've got some Woodland Sentinels here ready to train, but that is everything for this turn, so let's just end it.
From my people.
Very, very interesting. Gundabad have come to us with a diplomat asking us to pay them essentially 150 gold coins, accept or we will attack. Well, I'm not going to give them any money.
We understand.
So if you think you're hard enough, then come and get some. Quite frankly. I'll tell you what, that was an exceedingly long end turn. Some of these factions have got a lot to think about. And as we can see, Gondor sets out to reclaim Minas Tirith, because they, of course, have lost Minas Tirith and Mordor is supreme. And that has just reminded me that I think I did have Tithai Barason, our diplomat, over here, and we are not going to be getting to Dol am Roth anytime soon.
Without question.
We can't even get past here, so in 2 turns we won't make it, so we are going to fail that mission. But Gondor are very much on the way out.
My lord.
The only way that they're going to survive is if we come to save the day by putting some pressure in from the north. Now they do get this free scripted army here, which has the potential to take Minas Tirith back, but they probably won't. It's got some okay troops in, but the AI will probably not be able to do that. What else? Eastlings of Rune like us. Well, they wouldn't if they knew what we talk about them behind closed doors. Rawberg got... was it just the artist studio? Yes. Now, it's also got Dance Guild, so that elven culture is going to be ramping up. But I don't think we quite want to invest here. Let's just have a look what else is there. Dantalad. Yep, so this is going to take a while. Although we also got a dance guild here. Oh, that's cool. I don't remember doing that. Well, let's now get the large town, because that is actually cheaper than getting an art gallery. Now that we've got these two buildings, we've got 2% per turn going into our culture. But of course here we can see it is a barren region, so it's going to take a bit longer than if we were in a forested region. And of course that also is bad for our training purposes if we were to start training any units there. So you guys can go in there and then merge with the Woodland Wardens there. But Sith Pantheon, your job, firstly, your primary job is to build some towers. Let's get one there, and then we'll be able to see some stuff. And then Burning Warriors, I think I can retrain you here in Athnodion.
My lord.
And you guys go into that fort. And then we are training some Maithur Ithewire and the Warriors of the Forest, because they are excellent armor-piercing specialists, and they will help us a lot in taking Moria. Now, Moria will have a lot of troops, like, oh, and we actually got another general. They'll have a lot of troops, and they'll be very lightly armoured, so they won't be super useful, but particularly against a general's bodyguard they will be, because they are heavily armoured on Moria's side, and as Legolas is going in, he isn't himself armor-piercing, unlike Thranduil, but he is currently predisposed. Now, if we just have a look at Mardion, he is actually Legolas's true-born son, according to this universe. Because, of course, he ends up marrying Gimli.
Come, my brothers!
He he doesn't actually. They just have that great bromance. And he ends up... during the War of the Ring, of course, he goes along with the Fellowship, following Aragorn around, and eventually he leaves his father's kingdom up in the north, and he sets up here in Ithilien with the goal of renewing the forests here after centuries of devastation under the Orcs. And he actually brings some of the people from up north here, so there's a bit of an elven colony here, until of course he then builds a ship upon Aragorn's death on 4th Age 120, and then he and Gimli, who at this point is very old, they sail west. The only dwarf to have said to have done it. Now, I don't know, how many troops do we have here? 1, 2... We'll take the ballista as well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. Then with these as well, if we take these, how many is there? 16, 19, and then Legolas himself. Okay, so we do have enough, but these might take a moment to retrain. Now, I don't want to just merge them, because I'd quite like to keep that experience. So... well, let's do the retraining last. What can we build, first of all? Or rather than looking at buildings first, let's just... let's get these watchtowers, put one there, and then we'll put another one over here with the Rontor. And Gundabad are coming! Oh my word, that is a large force there. And these guys look like they're actually coming for us. So, usually... they'd kind of be walking through here to go to attack Erebor, perhaps, or going round here, but now they're coming from over here to here. They wouldn't be coming down here, because then they just use this road. So, this is a force that is coming for us. Luckily, we do actually have these Woodland Sentinels training. Sadly, we can't really get anything else, because everything else takes 2 turns. But, Heladril, he was parked in here many moons ago, and this is actually his first time to shine. Well, we do need to invest in something. Let's get public fountains here in Brown Boat, and that is giving us a 0.5 increase on our population growth, and that is kind of everything we will be able to do until it grows at 1,200 into a town. So that's not going to be very useful. And here in Råberg, let's just get communal farming as well here. Let's get that growing. And what about Ostingal? Let's get communal farming there. Although then we can't actually retrain any units. So, Råberg, you're going to lose communal farming, I think. Or Now, I tell you what, let's get rid of the public fountains. I'd rather, because this is a town, we need to invest there. So, communal farming, that will give us a small amount of change and also population growth. And then we can retrain 1 unit of scouts. Warriors. Well, let's train these warriors because there's more of them, and then also those scouts. And anything in here to retrain those, and then that's all of our money. And we've already used our scouts for this turn, or we haven't, but anyway. Now, Erebor once again are offering an alliance. I am thinking, well, you know what? Let's just take it. Maybe get some military access so they don't hate us if we go through their lands.
This seems quite a pleasure, noble sire.
So we don't get any diplomatic negatives from doing that. Okay, well, our scouts, or spies rather, they just reached a bunch of places. And Dor Naurhak. Could get a bladesmith's guild. Yeah, okay, let's get that now. We will get it eventually. But I just didn't really want to spend the money. Now, in here, Rune have a sizable force of their mediocre tier, or rather their... Actually, this is kind of their trash. Or these are certainly their trash. The Daritai clansmen. And then they've got some Balcloth tribesmen. But it looks like they're not going to be coming for us anytime soon. But just here is the region that borders Dantalad, which is owned by Mordor. And we've got Yaglun, and they've got some Black Orcs, which is their post-barracks event, mainline kind of. They don't have particularly good elites, but this is kind of what they'll be churning out a lot. And they've also got some Black Uruk halberds, so they'll be certainly a challenge compared to what we've been facing so far. But we have to remember that our troops will be far better. Now, Tower Fillin, Arrow Forest, has been besieged. We've been besieged. So war has finally come on the 82nd turn from the Orcs of Gundabad. And they come with Snow Orc Raiders. This is their beginning tier as well. None of this is restricted by any turns. They can get these right in the beginning. And look how much better they are. But their armor is pretty low, so they are susceptible to arrow fire. Now, in the comments in the previous video, there was a gentleman called Radical Ricardo, and he suggested to go after Gundabad. And I was actually planning on going for Gundabad, like before we were 100% ready. Now, it turns out the faction of Gundabad also agreed. And they have kindly obliged and attacked us. At least they didn't come with Captain Mauzag. So yes, so we will be able to sally out and defeat that army with a little bit of cheese, maybe a bit of woodland brie. I don't know, but that is quite interesting. Now, we did lose some money, but that's because we built a load of things. Further south, it's got a builder's hall. Now, we could get a land clearance now, but, well, our finances aren't great, so getting a master builder's hall immediately after isn't the greatest. I'm just going to get land clearance now because then, again, population growth and a small bit of money. We do lose 20 of that to corruption, so it's only making 40, but it only cost 935 as well, so hey ho. Now, we trained a lot of troops, mostly retraining, and we did get that alliance with the dwarves of Erebor. Now, the reason I didn't want to ally with them is because I was kind of also thinking it would leave the door open to attack them, because if they would have beaten Gundabad and taken, like, Witherboard, they would have taken Rakiberg, Daneshalls, you know, that would have cut all this off for me. So, you know, but now they look like they're losing, and yeah, it's the easy way out. You can always call off an alliance, but it's easier just to not accept one in the first place when it doesn't really affect you. So let's just build another tower there with the son of Legolas. And how about these forces here? Now, we'll have to get a shift on with some of these. There is another fort over there, but the chances are that
We must defend these lands.
Anduin actually has that.
Onward.
So let's just, who hasn't been trained? Now there is going to be another armor upgrade, but I'm not going to hang about for that, I don't think, 'cause the extra 1 point of armor won't mean much, because we will just be able to hopefully
My lord?
just
Yes, my lord.
soundly just shoot the Orcs of Moria quite handily. Now, can we actually retrain any more of these archers? No. How long before we can? What's the situation in Minas Lascalen? How about here? Could we... is actually worse there. So, I don't think we'll need to have a full stack to beat them. So, I think what we've got here will probably suffice. So, we just take... we'll probably have to wait for Mardian to come back
Sire.
before he can actually do anything. Oh no, they don't hate us.
By the light of
Okay, well you just hang out in there for now, and you will be moving out with 1, 2,
Yes, my lord.
3
For the light.
units from here. Because I don't want to merge them, I'd rather keep the experience, as I've already said. But I did kind of forget about Thranduil. Now, Thranduil has a pretty tidy force here, and we do need to get rid of Mao Duff, who's now causing havoc over there. 478 gold coins per turn, that is, that we're losing. And so about 500 gold coins that we're losing out on. Now, I can't move out Thranduil. No. Like, he's going to have to stay in there. But these troops, we're going to give them quite a wide berth so that we don't get attacked. But I can potentially take out Minaithalan. Yeah, so Minaithalan can come out and he can take charge of that force. And we can potentially take out pretty much the entire garrison. Yeah, so these three... plus these units, we're going to try and take out that force of rebels. So then we can also free up Thranduil soon. Once we built this large town, the squalor will go down, and therefore also public order will improve by 15% there. And then cultural unrest will steadily go down as this bar fills up. But of course we do want to get the art gallery as well, because currently we don't have a whole lot going on there. But I'm quite happy that Gundabad have actually attacked us, because actually one of my friends, Harry, over the Zoom call the other day, in our make-believe pub, he kind of said that it's a bit annoying to just see me constantly win, or he'd prefer to see some kind of, at least there's a threat of me losing, or any other channel, really. So attacking Gundabad before I'm 100% ready is what I was kind of planning on doing, but now that they've done this, it does kind of simplify things somewhat. Now I am just going to be doing the classical cheesy thing. So what we're going to be doing is marching the general out, shooting them until they decide to come back and come at us. Whilst I just shoot them from in front of the gate, they haven't bothered to come any closer. But let's just have a look at these guys. So these are the raiders. They look quite fearsome. And then we've got some snow orc spears, and they do hold spears. And then these are their archers of their first tier. So this is their like first tier, and then they do have the warg marauders. And whilst they howl like wolves a bit, they are just camels though, really. But they are shared with Dol Guldur, except they have this white skin, denoting that they're from the frozen north. Thanks to our superior archery skills that we now have, well, we're bunching up a bit. But these woodland sentinels are absolutely fantastic. I've kind of forgotten how much better archers are, because like we've been using the woodland scouts for so long that these are far better. They have better accuracy, better missile damage, and more missiles. So much so that there's hardly any of these Orcs of Gundabad left. So we're just going to march out and attack them. And of course, these guys are they're not amazing in melee, but these are about as good as the javelin men that we've been using quite a lot. They're as good as they are. So pretty useful, and they'll certainly do a number on what is left here. So the walls have also been helping us out a fair amount too, but it's largely been our own arrow fire. So this is going to help us out quite a lot with. So now we'll get the bonus income from a. Oh no, we don't get one from winning the battle. We just get what we. Well, now we get like the trade money that we wouldn't have got in the last turn had we not won this, because we were under siege.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
But there is, of course, the
enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
The unupgraded version of the Woodland Sentinels is what I was trying to say. So a nice amount of kills. Although looking at that, there was about 200 by us, and so there was probably about 100 by the towers. I wasn't really paying attention enough. I'm sorry. And down they go. Oh, enemy camp sacked. So okay, we did get 300 gold coins from that, but hopefully now Captain Mauzak doesn't come down. Now also on a note on that Sally battle, some might I'm gonna defend myself for defending my settlement like that, because if you think that imagine you're an orc party or orc host and you go and besiege an elven city, not even disregarding a place called Arrow Forest, you're gonna expect some kind of sallying forth during that siege, and certainly there's going to be a lot of elven archers out in the trees, maybe shooting you, popping a few heads, you know, as they go. Like even during the siege of Barad-dûr in the War of the Last Alliance, men died during that 7-year-long siege, even though they were besieging the orcs and Sauron in his tower, and even we have some people that died. Obviously, Isildur's brother, the king of, or the co-king of Gondor. I don't know what else to call him, but he was joint king of ruler of Gondor along with Isildur. His father, of course, being Elendil, and he died from a rock, I think it was, from being thrown from the tower. But now then, we'll build a tower here with Thranduil. And they probably won't really like us, but I'm not really that bothered. We'll build another tower over there. I say like they won't like us because we don't have military access with them, so there'll be some diplomatic penalty for that, but it's not really a huge amount, really. And Sith Pantheon, you're going over there. I could have really done with putting one there, but oh well, it's done now. And you there, you go and join there. We did lose some experience, but I'm not really that bothered. We probably won't be using these javelin men for too much longer, because they are getting a bit outdated. And they are our trash, and we can actually soon get much better ones. Although we can't here yet, because is our culture not high enough? 61%, what do we need for it? If we just go down here, Elder Council, 75%. They are also javelin men. And I do have a video going over showing off what they look like, if you want to have a look. And let's just quickly have a look at Legolas's retinue. See, I wanted him to make sure that he had the healer, because it came to my... Oh, I was just thinking about it. Like, if he's going to be fighting a lot of wars, you know, 5% casualties recovering, that's pretty nice. And that's like after the battle, you know how you get the tally where it says casualties healed, because you do always recover a small amount of units. I can't remember how many it is, but Thranduil doesn't have it, and he could certainly use it, but currently he is on governor duties. And we do want to make sure with Eredagrian, just to make sure that no one's actually marching this way, because whilst he is amazing and we can sort of sally out, this current settlement doesn't have any towers because it's orcish, which is why it's really important to get that upgraded, because when we upgrade it, of course, then it will look like an elven town, and we'll have towers. Like in fact, it will look exactly like Tar Filin did just then, so that'll be very useful. Okay, and then finally, before I end the turn, I do have to make sure I build something. Now, up here in Thranduil's Halls, we can get a stables, and this is a much better stable than anywhere else we can build on, save for Minas Lascalen down south, because here we can actually train the Artir Rohon, and they inspire nearby troops. They're skilled against mounts, and they are a very, very good horse archer cavalry unit with an 8 attack, high accuracy, 34 missiles, and they will be able to shoot all of those because no one will ever catch them with their 110% movement speed. That's like compared to other cavalry. So they move 10% faster than other cavalry, which is amazing. Now, they don't have amazing defense, but I think we can actually upgrade that by at least 1, maybe 2 points. And we'll be able to actually do or upgrade that by even more once we get to Eregion over here and get that advanced blacksmith. And is a key reason why we also need to get Legolas over there, because we really want that. But then in terms of other troops, we might as well take these Bjorning warriors, because they're not bad. They're pretty cheap. And let's get these Woodland Sentinels. We can't retrain anything over here. We can't retrain anything here. And everything else will take so long. So we'll just go with what we have once those Mythor Ether Wire come up. And we'll start marching those fellas out. But that is for the next turn. It is raining Bladesmiths guilds. And of course, I don't know if I've mentioned it every time, but this does give a melee weapon bonus to all units trained, or all melee forces trained in these regions. And also, it does aid in the replenishment of all these melee troops as well in that settlement. So it is worth getting, even if you don't need another melee weapon bonus town, so to speak. And Erebor is besieged, but it's not going to fall because they do get a hefty garrison. A friend of mine also, Jamie, was asking, will I be able to take Karas Galathon? And not myself, because of the Elven Alliance script, which is now basically that alliance will never be able to be broken, I don't think. Not even diplomatically, not even if I went over there and said, hey, like, our marriage is over. I don't think that is possible to happen. Now let's march these over there. And of course, whilst that is a very large stack of orcs, it's all trash. But in addition to this, the AI gets a garrison script to, you know, just help them out in key settlements. So Karas Galathon will get like 3 or 4 units of like elven defenders or something added to this amount of units that are currently in there. So the AI also doesn't know that. So obviously they're attacking thinking they're going to win this battle and auto-resolve. But they don't factor in the increased army size that then comes in after they, you know, try and attack the settlement. And because of that, they then lose. Which is essentially what happens down here in Gondor for usually about 100 turns, because Gondor gets garrisons in Osgiliath, Caerandros, Calenhad, and Minas Tirith. Or maybe not Calenhad, but certainly these 3 key regions here. And of course Mordor also get many boosted garrisons in all of these settlements that they have, so that they kind of butt heads for a very long time and keep besieging and never learn. But that's just how that works. In terms of money, we're making some now. This is, whilst we're not making a lot, I expect that to go up very soon.
Come, my brothers.
Well, not very soon, but hopefully soon.
Like
And
elves, we must
so. We could get these to be retrained. How long we... Oh, I already moved them. So, who here can retrain? We've actually already... We don't necessarily need Woodland Horse Archers if we're going into be assaulting settlements, because cavalry isn't particularly useful, particularly in Khazad-dûm. It's very tight, but we will take the Lorien Scouts just in case we need something to chase them down. But I think we're going to retrain those before the end of the turn. Now, those rebels are going to be somewhere around there. So if we just march there,
Be vigilant.
I'm not overly, like, massively concerned of them finding us. But yeah, there they are. Oh, there's another one there. I think that was another remnant of Dol Guldur. But next time we're going to be going for Malduk with this. Now, they do have a powerful army. They still have those Camul Shadow Knights, some Castellans. So it's going to be difficult, but we do have Galadrim Guards, my perhaps favourite unit, and it's not even one of ours, really, strictly speaking. And then we do have one unit of decent archers, the Woodland Sentinels, and of course, Minithalon isn't too bad either. But that's just the way it goes. Thranduil, you build another tower here, and then you're going to move off in that direction, build me another one there, and Gundabad aren't going for us just yet. Thankfully, they've got these massive armies, and they're just throwing them at Erebor. And of course, Erebor is currently besieged here by Radbug, and they won't come for Thranduil's holes as long as Witherboard is held by the dwarves, because they don't border this region, they only border Tower Lynn. So this is the main choke point for now. Nonetheless, a small force up here would be very, very useful, and I think Thranduil could be the general that is chosen for the conquest of some of Gundabad's regions, particularly Graydon Vales. That has access to a port on the Anduin, so good trade, and then we can go for Dane's Halls, which has some good mines. And actually, to be honest, so does the Withered Heath. I think it's called the Nazanar. That has some really good mines. And then, of course, Gundabad itself, which doesn't look like that, by the way. It's just because it's weirdly loaded in. And actually, I don't know if it does. I think they might have been given into the region of Scather's Gap, which is just here. Yeah, it does look like. So Gundabad isn't amazing, I don't think, although it is a huge city. So it will have access to all the buildings. So it is very useful to get that. But yeah, Moria certainly is by far the better region, though, and hopefully they've built some nice mines for us that we don't have to, because I think certainly the dwarves, they get 3 tiers of mines, and I don't know if the Orcs of Moria get that as well, but I'm hoping they do, because then we can inherit that. Oh, and I almost forgot, Sith Pantheon, you there build a tower there, and then we'll need another one of those just over here. Now, we do still have some money, so is there anything? I don't want to get anything in Tower Filling, because if it does just keep on getting attacked, although let's get a Hall of Music, that way we get another unit of free upkeep, so we don't have to pay for him. Whilst 2,000 is quite a lot, it's a small price to pay, I guess. Now, anything else? I think we're going to leave the rest for getting troops for now, because we just need to push on and take Moria. So everyone else has moved, and I think that will be good to go. I'll just redo the retraining, so that actually does get done. And wait, is there anything else? No. Okay. Now, I do apologise for this episode, perhaps, because ooh, another general. Because it hasn't been the most exciting. Oh my... What? Erebor has fallen. Oh my word. Well, that is a problem, because although it could be a blessing in disguise, because we get that, we make a lot of money. Erebor makes a lot of money, but Gundabad is becoming very, very powerful, and their troops are not bad. Their troops are actually very, very good, and I just saw that Shagrat is coming to... well, here's a good example. So, Black Shield Warriors, 12 attack. This isn't like an 8 charge bonus, which is outstanding for, like a hold the line sword and board unit, and 20 defense. See, their defense isn't that bad. Like, I'll bring up Radical Ricardo up again for his comment. I'm not picking on you. I'm sorry. I just like yes, like their armor isn't that amazing, but it's not that bad either. Particularly with a shield, if you're shooting from the front, that is still an 11 defense against arrow fire, which isn't. It's not like say like mountain orc hunters who have a 2, which just die very very quickly. So and these will do very very well in melee. Of course, they're not armor piercing, but they are very good, particularly for an orc nation. They are absolutely amazing. But if we just look at our finances, this is the final turn. But I didn't want to just leave it as it was. Oh, and we forgot about that mission, but they'll probably give it back. Burrauge got the roads. Now, this isn't massively critical anymore, because we've kind of got a north and south half of the kingdom. But look at that trade, 856, sorry, and it's only a town. This has still got large town, city, large city. This has still got another 3 tiers above it to grow into. Now, how long until you can do that? Can we aid that in any way? I think, wait, so we've got public fountain. There's still a public bath that we can get. And to get that, we need a hall of music, but we don't have loads of money, and right now I think we need troops. But Path Cymru, you got I'm going to keep tripping up over that. In terms of building, I think we're going to just get a marksman's range here in Path Cymru, because we'll get an extra unit of Woodland Sentinels and Woodland Scouts into the pool, and eventually we will be able to get the Elven King's Bowguard, which is the same unit as Legolas's bodyguard unit, which are pretty solid. And of course they aren't our best archer either, but we haven't been able to get them. I think they're only available in Mirkwood itself, so actually maybe building this in Dol Guldur would be better. But it's good to have split recruitment as well, but we'll get them eventually. It's still only the 84th turn, and the elves are definitely, like, they are the late game faction, so we are only in the ascendancy right now, and things are only going to get better and better. But I'll just move out the troops that we have, and in fact, Mardian, you build a watchtower just there,
We will need that one.
because we will need that one. And come, my brothers, back inside there, and then we'll leave these troops in here for this one turn, because in the next turn they will move there, and then the next turn maybe we should move some of them on actually. So we could actually retrain one more unit here, but no, we're gonna move these guys out. So you all go there, and we're gonna march to Lothlorian's lands to get over to Moria, which isn't under siege. They hold it. We're gonna take it. But in the next episode, Minaithalan is going to march onto Mauduf. In fact, let's just do that now, or get close, so you can kind of see what they've got going on. They've got some this is going to be a juicy fight. But in terms of fights, there will be none more pressing than the ones up against Gundabad, because they're going to be throwing a lot at us now. Dwarves do have a couple of armies there, which will cause a bit of a kerfuffle up here in the north. But after that, they're going to be coming for us, and we need to be ready. So, Thranduil, you build that one final castle, you build that one final watchtower over there, and then you're going to plod off to Thranduil's halls, and you're going to start raising an army. Now, we do have access to some Sentinels of Kerin Amroth up here, and we will be able to get some Galadrim guards, rather. They used to be called Elbreth's something. And we will have to hold this, if not, we'll probably have to push back a couple of armies before we can go in and take Rakniberg, or we might even be able to just march on under their noses and take it without them noticing. But thank you very much for watching, and if you think I've earned it, then please hit the subscribe button, because I'm 100% committed to uploading on Wednesdays, Fridays and Sundays. Just like this past week, I uploaded a video on a Saturday, and you know, if you're not subscribed, you might not see that, you know, and you might like to see that video. And also apologies that I did say that perhaps on Monday I will have uploaded a separate lore video, but you know, it takes me ages to, because I have really bad internet, quite frankly. It takes ages to upload these episodes. So yeah, I do apologise about that, but I will be working on that as well. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and like if you liked it and all that. And I'm going with Gandalf. Good day!